Toby Keith, Kicks 105.5. Good morning. It's 7:48, and as he joins us every Wednesday, about 10 minutes till 8 o'clock, it is Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency. Good morning, Mike.
Top of the morning to you.
Well, my friend, let's get right into something that I've been thinking about for the last couple of days. It is a hypothetical question with two different scenarios. You ready?
Okay. Not scenarios, but scenarios? Okay, let's go.
Hypothetical. You say tomato, I say potato. All right. So let's say that hypothetically, I backed into a coworker's car. But there was no damage. She's a friend. And both of us said, okay, it's cool. And we drove away happily our separate ways. But later on, she discovers on the way home, maybe there's some front end, like it drives a little funny or something. And she believes it's because I hit her vehicle. Now, if I say I'm just taking care of it, her and I could work something out and not get insurance involved. But if that same scenario happened at like a grocery store, I wouldn't want to say, all is well, walk away, and then the person comes back at me later and says, yeah, no, my whole front end is completely wobbly, and I believe you broke the frame. And so explain to me what I would do in both cases.
The exact same thing. File a claim.
Really?
Absolutely. And here's why. And I don't mean any disrespect to your hypothetical friend. But when all of a sudden, and I don't mean any disrespect to the hypothetical you, but if this occurs and you're like, we're good, we'll take care of it, and then down the road, all of a sudden, it's like an onion, and you're peeling it back, and you just discover more and more and more, you're potentially opening yourself up to some fairly significant exposure of costs and possibly hurting your friendship as a result of you saying, well, God, I can't swing that out of pocket. Well, we didn't file a claim, so I don't have that ability. No, the best thing is to file a claim. And I know a lot of people would counter me on that. But I've seen it enough in all scenarios where an accident occurs and one party says, don't worry about it, we'll just do it ourselves, and one person gets left high and dry, or there's animosity between the two of them. So your cleanest, safest bet, even now, I mean, at first you go, there's no damage, we're good. Okay, you're probably okay just letting it go, but the second you realize there's potential, my recommendation is to file a claim. The worst-case scenario here is that you find that it actually has nothing to do with it, and the claim just doesn't get paid. You close the claim out, you move on.
Now, you say that, but does that get a mark on my insurance for the future that there was a claim filed even though nothing was paid out? Are they saying, he's a little more at risk than someone else?
Yes. That's the risk that you're going to take.
Thank God it's hypothetical then.
But it's only if you're shopping, all right? So if you're shopping and you have a blemish or two like that, that's certainly going to be accounted for, front-loaded as part of the process, because they're trying to determine the level of risk that you will be for this company. Now, if you're with a company, especially if you've been with them for any number of years and have been relatively claims-free, it's not really going to do much. But if you're prone to shopping for your insurance, certainly any type of accident really could. I mean, there's a central database that everything is reported to. We call the report that we grab for this information the CLUE report. It stands for Comprehensive Loss Underwriting Exchange. And what that report does, it extrapolates the data. And I'll tell you, there's many a times where people have been hit by another party, but somehow that report gets to the central database as an at fault, so we have to work through that process. So unless you're prone to shopping, take advantage of the fact that you have insurance if you need to. Don't become a habitual offender, but certainly if there's something there and it's worrisome potential for out-of-pocket expense, why else would you have insurance?
Right. How long does this stay on my record if hypothetically something like this should occur?
Right. So typically
forever?
3 years. No, not forever. Definitely not forever. Okay. You're looking at, companies are really only analyzing 3 to 5 years of data. Some companies go as far out as 8 years. Wow. But anything beyond 3 is really the factor. They're looking for something that could be a pattern. So, but your most common is going to be 3 to 5. So.
Yeah, my pattern on my CLUE is like, well, this guy likes to back up and hit people a lot, man. What is that all about?
But there are times when it's a really unfortunate thing. There are, and I think a lot of people listening would probably agree that either they've been through this or have known somebody who has done this, where all of a sudden, out of absolutely nowhere, life is great, moving on, no claims, blah, 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 and then bang, 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 bang. But that's how life happens. You can't control that. And that can become a problem if you have multiple claims back to back to back to back to back. But most companies, especially the regional carriers, they're going to take into consideration the longevity of the account, the pay history of claims and things like that. And, it's what insurance is for.
Well, if you'd like to have your insurance policy looked at by Mike Barrett, make sure you call Mike Barrett at Barrett Insurance Agency by calling.
Hypothetically, it's 748-5224 is our number. You can also find us located on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury, where we have a nice array of masks on our faces when you pop in, and we would ask you to do the same to comply with the CDC guidelines. You can also find us online, get a free or home or auto quote at thebarrettagency.com. Google, Facebook, and YouTube is all Barrett Insurance Agency.
Take care, my friend. Talk to you next Wednesday.
Hypothetically, be well.
You too. Bye.
It's the summer sell down, and that means huge savings on all 2020 Mitsubishi crossovers in stock at